make life very hard with that Doom, you know, against this gyrocopter. Like, you get doomed as Shiro. Suddenly this IO regen is doing nothing for you. And all the pressure's on XM to get some work done on this Razor. Like, this could be a very back and forth game one. Which is what we're hoping for, obviously, John, as two very non-biased casters. You know, because there's no SEA teams anyway. They're not here, John. Right? We've got no reason. No reason to be biased here.
You know why they're not here? They decided to save the money in the tickets. Just stay at home instead of going back to the airport. Sorry, OG. Sorry, Mr. Lane. It's just a joke.
That's all right. That's all right. They could have played remotely, you know? One quick series.
Hey, we still have Whitemon, right? That turns Tundra into an honorary C team by virtue of Whitemon.
True. That's true.
And GamerLegion.
Brad Pitt of
you know,
Dota
how
too.
can you forget? Ghost, RCY, how dare you, Mike?
No, they're playing
Excuse me?
later, John. You know, in the lower bracket where we are, Jonathan. They'll be with us. But that's when you can show your real bias. When
The last
GamerLegion's
place
playing.
Ghost wants to be in is in a lobby with us.
That's true. I mean, I guess the second last place, John, there is a worse place I can think of. Anyway, bottom lane.
30 seconds.
Don't say what I'm thinking about, John. It's the first thing that came to your mind.
I don't know.
Trust me, it's a pretty obvious answer, John. Bottom lane, Daze. Looks like he will break his smoke. He's going to be all right. No real fight to break out here. I mean, if you're the side of Vici, like, you're playing this slow game. You're not really looking to fight too early on. Though, as I say that, XM, he is still playing Razor. He'll pressure Niku a little bit. But it's going to be 4 bounty rooms
Wow.
for the side of NAVI. I mean, that's one way to start your game one. Bottom lane, they do chase just a little bit on Daze, but he is a little bit too quick. He will just run his way out of there.
Yep. Early brown beats to save the day for good old Daze, which is going to be helpful considering how he's going to have to lane up against here. In the mid lane matchup, of course, we've talked about this a couple of times in draft, but not going to be the comfiest for Niku. He's going to have to try to play around with a Talon toss and try to make his way in and out. XM's always going to be happy enough to static link and eventually just plasma heal down Niku. So the presence of this Kez here, it's not going to be as amazing. Maybe by level 3 it starts to even out a bit more. You start to get more damage in. Really, it does feel like Kez shines by 4 to 5. That's where it can really apply pressure. It's just against the Razor, it's almost like laning against the Viper, which Navi banned out. It's just lane dominant, especially up against melee matchups. I don't expect XM to have too rough of a time unless you invest resources to rotate, which, you know, when you have this Tusk, there is potential later on at maybe the 4-minute water room.
I mean, look, the scary thing with Niku's Kez, right, is when the link's down, he's got the chance to kill you. Like right now, he's got the spells up. If he gets within range of XM, he might just kill him. So XM's got to be careful not to show. He will reveal himself just a little bit here, but it is kind of the scary thing. Like, once that link's gone, Niku might just kill you as this Razor, and you just can't afford to misplay if you're XM.
Has to manage much more carefully. He is having a decent time in CS, but even the denies coming out from Niku is still more than making up for just the slight advantages you are getting. Still in the side lanes, down bot. Pretty straightforward lane coming out here for Shiro. Gyrocopter lane with a Disruptor to help on hand. Not much you can really do to run down for days. Not the most aggressive lane for the Tusk to play with an Underlord on hand for PMA, perhaps. Once you have at least a value point in the Pit of Malice, if you even look for it on PMA, you can start to consider some entrapment onto the Disruptor with a Snowball. It gets relatively easy to look for that burst, but it is easier said than done. Overall, in terms of farming, though, PMA should still be able to find what he wants. He's tanky enough that the Flak Cannon isn't doing too much in the early levels, and you always have that wave clear out with a Firestorm, so you can always just manage that lane. Top lane, of course. Last lane we haven't really looked at. We've got Bach along with Sin-Q on that Pango IO combo. Very hard to shove away for Riddies and got the juice. And we are seeing the same standard Doom build coming in here. Scorched Earth plus Devour. Queuing up even the Midas as well here for got the juice. So he is expecting this to go a little bit slower. Just focusing on farming, not focusing as much on harassment, which is fair when there's so much regen on the IO you have to eat through anyhow. So trying though.
Big jump here from Got the Juice. I mean, he's still trying. Eventually, with the Scorched Earth wearing off, he does let him go. Xingqiu able to survive this time around. And certainly as the levels do come up, like, had you had level 3 on both your Phoenix and your Doom, maybe that would have just been a kill. And I think they might just try again now with the region being committed by Xingqiu. Like, once you've got your spells back up, and you've got the level 3 of this Phoenix, you might just be able to go again. Meanwhile, bottom lane, though, they have made the play onto Shiro. Shiro, though, going to be perfectly okay to walk his way out of there. But it seems though these side lanes are starting to heat up.
Now they are. It's that level 3 timing for PMA, right? Like, he's got the value point in that pit. They can try to play with that aggression in the snowball. They can try to just get right on top of Shiro, who is going for the rocket barrage buildup. I think level 201 right now on that gyro. Not looking for the max out flak to just safely farm and poke. Is wanting to have some punchback when that commitment is made. Top, just some poking onto Riddies. These early spirits are doing quite a fair bit of damage. Although,
here we go again. They're going to try. Not quite able to land the dive though onto Xingqiu, so it's not going to be a big kill attempt coming the way of Got the Juice, but he's still trying just a little bit more. In fact, turn around. Got the Juice being slowed up by that tether link. He's still going to be okay. Meanwhile, bottom lane, first blood has been drawn. PMA able to secure the life of Y, and now even finding Shiro. Not great news for Vici Gaming.
exactly what you'd want to see for NAVI, right? Because you're setting up for this Doom to play slower. You need these, you need your off lane and your mid to win pretty hard. And so far, Navi's finding everything they'd want. Niku's still not being slowed down much by XM. XM drawing even, and we talked about this with XM's Viper, where he was also drawing even yesterday. It's not what you like to see with these kinds of heroes. Like Razor, again, is expected to crush a lane. An even lane is... it's close to something like a loss, because your objective is to slow down the mid. Niku's not slowing down whatsoever. Power Tread's being queued up. Could go for some additional minus armor if you'd want. And then you start to get early activity on this Kez while your Doom's farming up. It starts to get a little bit dangerous. It's starting to drag heroes up top here as well from Navi's end.
They are. Riddies, he'll go for the dive in. They want Bark on this Pango. Nice little jump away, but instead they'll turn their attention onto Xingqiu. Still got plenty of control for at least the IO. It's a rotation for Navi working out, and this is something with their draft that they're going to keep up. Like, you don't really need any more levels to continue being aggressive with this style of draft here from Navi. And this is what you've got to be worried about as Vici Gaming, because you're playing the slow game. You're playing IO Gyrocopter. You know, we've seen the script before with this style of gameplay, Jonathan. Oh. It doesn't go very fast. XM. Mid lane. Jump is there. XM being targeted. Niku doing so much damage with that Raptor dance. And he's still able to escape. Xingqiu unable to do anything but watch his teammate die. This is what I'm saying. It's just going to be constant now. This is where Vici, they just need to survive through it.
The rough part here for VG is that with that little movement across the map from Daze, he managed to block their large camp. There are no stacks built up, no catch-up forms set up here for Shiro to really get into that point where the Gyrocopter can kind of hope for a relocate play. And that's going to cut back this aggression on VG. It's going to cut back their response for what Navi has lined up. Every single lane feeling like Navi's kind of gotten away with what they'd want here in terms of net worth. You're finding a really strong start all across the board. Even some movement across for the Shrines of Wisdom. Riddies getting a little bit cheeky. But Bach at least has Xingqiu to try to back him up. Can they force him out here?
They're going. Got the Juices here as well. Nice swash though, lining up for it in fact. Still Xingqiu dropping extremely low now. Will go down. Sunray actually keeping Got the Juice alive through all of this. Riddies ends up with a double kill. Oh, they're going for more. Not why. Leave him alone. Got the Juice picks up a third. This is horrible for Vici. You couldn't have asked for a worse start, John. They gave all the bounties away. It's 0-7.
Yep.
How can it get possibly any worse than this?
I'm trying to think back. Have we ever seen such a lopsided start? I mean, the silver lining for VG, despite all these losses, they're only 3K behind. Now, that's 3K at 8 minutes. That is quite significant. But, you know, it's not 5K. It's not 6.
Hold on. XM might find a kill here, John. Raptor Dance, making it quite hard for him. He will have the link from SinQ, however. Regen going to be picked up as well. Looks like he'll leave it for days. Niku, what a team player. Looking for another entry into the fight, but they do look to retreat. Niku now maybe going a little bit too far. Will get held in the kinetic field, but is still perfectly fine. He will be able to escape with no real pressure being applied.
They're all collapsing onto this mid, though. They're not done.
But they shouldn't be done. Like, why would you be done? You've got Raptor Dance in 2 seconds. Here we go again. XM trapped up with the shards. Raptor Dance immediately out from Niku. And I'll tell you what, I mean, these Phoenix Sunrays, you kind of underestimate just how much heal he's providing. It's a lot of heal coming in with that level 1 Sunray.
It is. They haven't even needed to pop something like the Supernova yet. You know, they still have that in their back pocket here for NAVI. Already a nice steady siege onto that mid. And just doesn't feel like you have a response here on VG. And you can find Shiro to the side just like that.
It just gets worse. Because you've got that solo potential with the Doom. And this is what I was trying to say during the drafting stage, John. Like, if the game goes really badly, XM's going to have to start to find a way to carry on this Razor. Because they might just Doom Shiro every time and make him completely useless. Your IO Gyro is just gone after that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's gonna cut out a lot of bite from VG. And I think for VG, the key thing is that their laning presence just wasn't fantastic. I think that's really what holds them back. I think having to run the IO plus Pango instead does mean that, you know, your Gyrocopter's not able to run down as much. You weren't really playing around with, like, glimpse backs as they catch more.
Yeah, they certainly do. Why really has no play out of this one. That'll be the 10th kill now for NAVI. For any F10K fans, there you go. There's no messing about for NAVI. Keeping the fans happy.
That they are 0-10, 4K lead, 10 minutes in. I mean, I wonder what the statistics are on a comeback at this point, because
it's
still feasible. It's not too bad. But
there's the statistics, John.
There's,
873
to
106.
It's pretty rough odds for the side of VG. I mean, they can make it work somehow. Their condition here is don't lose 10 more heroes in the next 5-7 minutes. Try to get some catch-up form. If you reach network parity with Shiro and need top core on NAVI at 8 minutes in, and if you can stall for that long, then maybe you're happy, but I just don't see that happening. Then they did a great job of cutting off these ancient stacks, these large camp stacks, which are opened up now, but it's not really enough to put Shiro in a fighting position yet. Even this Crystalist timing for the Gyro doesn't feel like it's gonna cut it. It's gonna need to be more, and it's just hard to see where that more is going to come from. Bot jungle's just invaded even by Riddies, really farming with no concern.
I mean, they are looking at him though. They're having a gander at this Phoenix. Not really much they can do about him in fairness. He does have stick charges. He's got egg ready whenever. So they're going to leave Riddies alone.
The rough thing is, Y just hits level 5. 6 is still a ways off. You need that static swarm to really have a hope to fight back here.
They aren't going to catch XM. That is a good point, John. Having a level 5 disruptor at almost 12 minutes in is not a good thing. That's the position they found themselves in. It is what it is. He'll get to level 6 eventually, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Right now, though, things are pretty dark. I mean, you've really just got to survive through the onslaught that should be NAVI right about now. There is no reason for NAVI to just not own 3/4 of the map.
No. I mean, maybe to get the timing up, they've got the defusal on Bach. That's something to help out. You could maybe just focus your efforts on playing around like Bach and XM, although XM really, he has nothing on this Razor. Just double Wraith Band, Power Thread, still working towards BKB. I mean, the only hero you have that can play is Bach, but I don't see who Bach kills unless NAVI completely oversteps their bounds somehow. They don't have the vision to sustain that kind of play from VG, so it has to just be fully defensive. Would want some defensive vision at least to help cover these farming spots, but Navi's been pretty on point. They're forcing out a lot of sentries from the side of Vici Gaming. Again, they're just playing across the river. The only person stuck on their side of the map is Got the Juice, who's just free farming his way to whatever the heck you'd want. Looks like maybe an Echo Saber coming out here. Oh.
He's having a great old time. Riddies, mid lane. I mean, can they actually kill him? No. He's got egg. He's got teammates. Nice little attempt. But that's the best they've got. They don't want to give any more kills away. They'll head back to their own side of the map, which is basically their triangle at this point. This is all they've got. Their whole jungle has been taken by NAVI. They're trying to hand all this farm to Shiro. Now, this is the problem, right? Once he gets doomed, Shiro is completely valueless. There's no value left in Shiro once the doom comes out, it feels like. Buck is probably dead. And he is. Ironically enough, Niku will take him. I'm pretty sure there's a Buck joke to be made there, John. Sing Q. I was gonna make it, but even I thought in the middle of it, I thought, yeah, I have standards. You know?
You made it anyway.
I have standards. It was a chicken buck joke. I know, John, but it was too cheap, John. It was a bit too cheap for my liking.
I would, well, you know, there's not much to really say when it's 0-11 and an 8k lead up for NAVI, and to make matters worse, you got a Crimson Guard, which cuts off everything. I mean, this game does feel like bullying overall, Mike, no matter what. Whatever we say, it's just building off of what we're seeing in the screen right now. Sad to say for VG, but NAVI is in control. It's an 8k up, 0-11. Have we ever seen something like this in Southeast Asian qualifiers? Do you remember something like this?
Oh no, we've had some one-sided games, John. I'm not going to say this is historical in any sense. You know, it's just one of those games.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is where they'll find their first kill, John. I believe in them. Except they drop everything on him. He's actually walking away from this for now. Snowball, it is going to connect eventually, but he's taking a lot of damage away from this Kaz. Maybe they can turn it. No, they cannot. But they don't die. And that's better than dying.
I suppose. You feel like you would be very happy if you could somehow turn it for XM with all of that damage, but also just not enough to stand and hold his ground. The response out from VG, just not quick enough, considering where that fight broke out. Anyhow, for NAVI, you're down an egg. You're down that Queen's Gate, but... Oh, Daze
trying to donate the first kill. Not quite though. Static Storm just being completely tanked now as he looks to go back onto Y. Y certainly looking pretty dead. Daze dropping low. Y somehow still alive. Finally does go down as they found Shiro. Oh, Shiro. Yeah, he's dead. That's unfortunate. 0-13. Double kill for Niku.
Oh,
they are trying. They haven't given up. XM is also going to die. Maybe you just, you know, you secure one kill and you drop the G's. Maybe that's where we're at.
Yeah, you know, get a little bit of a morale boost before tapping out. Say, yeah, we can do this, guys, in the next game. You know, build that momentum.
They got
up.
kissed. We'll just say they got kissed, you know?
Yeah.
They got
I get the idea. I get the idea of Razor into Kez, like, yeah, you know, melee. You can static link up, but then your point stands might be. Kez doesn't care if you break it. Ooh.
They've got it. They've done it. Riddies.
There you go.
Riddies does go down. Huge pick-off. And it is actually a pretty big pick-off. Whether you like to admit it or not, Buck will take all the goals for himself and the Pangolier. All jokes aside, John, there is a world where Vici can make a comeback. It is only 1-2 good team fights away from this game suddenly flipping on its head. Yeah, let's not get too overly confident for NAVI.
Yeah, I mean, look, you are catching up nicely on Shiro as well. The Ags isn't too far off, 2 parts away. Crystallis is up. You could maybe go BKB into Daedalus or just BKB Satanic, a little bit more defensive, tie and double up on that sustain. And then you can still kind of wreck face. NAVI, though, are covering their bases right into Roshan now. Shouldn't take them too long to clear this out with Niku and Daze on hand. Having that secondary life for Niku to play on edge should open up some possibilities as well. And again, you're also getting your own BKB up for Got the Juice relatively soon. So they will be free to run and gun. The big hurting point for VG is that we haven't really seen big relocate plays. And you are still buying time, and It's hard to say it's all right at an 11k deficit at 18 minutes in, but it is somewhat playable. You will have to play near perfectly here on VG, and again, minimize losses. Like, try to find opportunities from NAVI, try to spot out when they are getting a little bit too excited by themselves, get some forward vision in some areas where you can.
Right.
You don't quite have that set up.
They spot out the Disruptor. Why? With a nice little glimpse back on PMA. It'd be fine to casually walk out for now. You do have Niku closing in though, but the TP away from Y is going to pay off this time around. I mean, again, there is a world. I mean, Shiro's pretty close to the Ags now on the Gyrocopter. That tends to allow his farm to escalate quite a bit, and obviously damage output does escalate a lot. One bad team fight from NAVI in this game could be problematic. Niku. Understanding this, won't be too silly about it. BKB now up on Got the Juice. Now this is the thing, right? Like, in the middle of these team fights, unless your whole squad is able to aim this guy down, like, this Doom just feels like he can run at anyone. In fact, here we go. He's gonna see Buck. Buck gets stunned. Doom not even necessary yet. There you go. He does eventually commit it, but with the BKB, how do you stop this guy? They're gonna try and link away at him, suck all the damage off, but it's still looking horrible for Shiro. He's been trapped up.
Oh, that egg.
Shiro's down. Oh, just call it. Enough. Oh,
Yeah.
what's happening?
They're getting run down. You know, the lanes didn't work out the way they'd want here for VG. Feels like they were relying way more on these cores, just winning their core-to-core matchups in each lane, and it didn't really come out that way. Like Bach, up against a Doom, Got the Juices tanky enough. They were even running down a couple of times there onto our IO. It wasn't the safest time for SynQ. And again, you can see just the positioning was perfect in this fight as well. Like that decision to Doom, the way they were cutting off into the back with that Fiend's Gate, baiting out the static link, the static storm, getting the egg off in the end to cut off that escape path as well, right at with very little HP as well for that burn. Just everything executed cleanly from the side of Navi, and for VG, I don't think they're executing badly. It's just their options are just so damn limited. Like there's just not much more to play with.
7 layers of hell. Like, just every time you took a step, it was Pit of Malice, Icarus Dive, Snowball, Shards. It's just, you're never getting anywhere. No. Horrible. Horrible situation for Vici. Just, there was no escape.
No.
It's the meat grinder. And here we go again. I mean, Navi, they're just going to start pushing in the top T2 tower. What is it, Jonathan? You've got something to say, do you?
I mean, if they catch someone out alone, if they have a forward ward, play with relocate somehow.
They're bouncing Q.
Although SynQ.
Maybe he gets out. 3 more seconds. He's alright. Almost dies in the fountain, actually, but he's alright. Calculate.
Yeah.
Doesn't get the Shrine of Wisdom, though, sadly.
At least he knows these two heroes aren't together with this group up from Navi. Navi will still look to force the issue with a bit of smoke out.
Oh,
They've cleared out all outer towers.
Not Shiro. Not Shiro. He just got enough for the point booster too, John. Look at that. 1206. His courier's flying out of the secret shop. No. Send him back, Shiro. Send your courier back, mate. He hasn't got the money. Yeah.
Passively get it.
That's how you know your game's going pretty well. It's when you can't get the damn Ags on your gyro. Here we go again. Who have they found? They're just going to go for it. This might be the biggest threat to NAVI so far, the Torment.
The self-inflicted damage. Fortunately, no casualties here. Get the free shard up for Riddies, so even more utility coming out. At least they sniped Niku's BKB. That's significant. Not that he cares for the next 40 seconds anyhow. See if the smoke pans out. I mean, again, if they catch someone off guard, find 1 kill, and do that like maybe 2-3 more times, things can start to even out with how far ahead Navi is. Every kill will count.
Well, they are going to find themselves an Underlord. He's a tanky boy, though. PMA's just not dying. Yeah, just turn right back around, say thank you very much for the fight. In fact, the egg right in the middle of them. Can they at least deal with that? They can. The egg is gone. They even find Daze. It's a decent fight for Vici thus far. They win out the team fight.
That's a massive gold swing. And that's because
Was Got
you
the Juice
didn't
not
have...
there?
No, Got the Juice and Niku just didn't turn up. No TP on Niku. Got the Juice, no TP either.
Oh.
So they were just in the triangle, not in position to play. Obviously, Fiend's Gate was used for the Tormentor earlier. No way of dragging them in that way either. And that's the opportunity VG needs. It doesn't quite even out the game. It is a shot in the arm. It's a fair bit of gold. It allows some progression here. Box trying to work into his Ags now. And that full Ags for good old Shiro. Well, his career is down for a minute, but he does have the gold. So you are getting tools up. Mind you, Navi's still in the driver's seat overall, but they slip up a couple
Shiro,
times.
just let the man buy the Ags, for the love of Christ. He's just never getting it, John. Got the Juice, not having it. Wise going as well. One day he'll get that point booster, John. There's 30 seconds for his courier. I'm sure he'll get it. So we do have splash attack now on our doom. That's fantastic.
Great stuff. Really love the right click doom we're seeing out. It is a ton of damage with level pain, to be fair, and Infernal Blade. So I appreciate seeing this from Got the Juice, and with his shard up, so much gold flowing out for that. Midas not going to take too much time to rip through these objectives. They've got the Desolator on Niku to speed things along, and you don't really have many options here on VG. At least they get pushed back with a respawn of Y, so the threat of Static Storm and some really tight control and a choke point like the high ground does mean Navi will play it safe, but they maintain a 20k lead here.
Sure is on a mission with his courier, John. His courier's out on the run to the secret shop now on the left side of the map. Problem is, Got the Juices around there. He's got to be careful. This poor courier. There it is. He should be alright. Finally get this damn point booster. Thank goodness. We're okay, John.
Yeah. Even micros it to the left again before returning.
He's got
just
to.
in case. You know, a bit traumatic. A bit traumatic for Shiro. The Axe being up is nice. It's some good stats, a little bit more damage coming in. You don't quite have the most damage in this jar just yet. And you have an app damage rune on Niku. You just want to blow someone up.
Oh, it was an amp damage, Kez. Never going to feel very nice. That's going to be your mid tier 3 tower under siege. In fact, I say tier 3. Your mid racks will be under siege now. Nice grappling hook from Niku. Very stylish. Oh, jump in with the Walrus Punch. They've already found Xingqiu. Xingqiu's trying to survive through it, but the Shah just locking him down. They do at least get days. Though they do lose Xingqiu in the process, but it's a successful defense. As Niku. Niku's also down. Well, hold on a minute. See, this is when you start asking questions like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah. Just a bit too keen on Navi. Not like they had the Aegis this time around. Still hasn't respawned at Roshan. And it didn't feel like they were all fully committed, right? Like you weren't running up here with Got the Juice. You were a little bit further behind with Riddies. You were in frontlining here too hard with PMA. He's trying to hold back to use that Fiend's Gate. So it was just scattered apart, and again, they were just maybe again overconfident on Niku. That's a huge gold swing. It's a 2k swing off of that big kill. And you're getting that investment back on Shiro. He's suddenly one part away from full Ags. Full BKB. Once you've got that BKB on the gyro, yeah, you know, Doom is still gonna scare you, but nothing else will. So you have to be much smarter now with Got the Juice. Who are you gonna doom up? Can you even reach a gyrocopter? In an ideal fight, sure, it shouldn't be a problem, but some of these fights aren't ideal for Navi now. 6-23, 19k lead. Navi still in control, but you slip up one more time like that on a core kill. Like you give 2 more core kills away, this game is gonna even out, and it's gonna feel very playable for VG. Which gets scary because you still have this IO gyro combination. You've got a Razor that can scale really nicely. You're getting a lot of utility out on Bach. Has a Mage Slayer with his Ags now. Roshan is still in control for Navi. No forward vision out from VG to contest. It still falls relatively quick here. So, safety net once more for Niku. Still gonna feel good. Just need to see if they have an opportunity to actually start breaking some racks here.
Well, they want to fight. Trying to bait with Roshan. But the Juice will be left to take care of it. Meanwhile, XM being hunted down towards the south. In fact, I believe they saw him. They did. Days right in on top of the Razor. Nothing that can be done to save XM this time around. It is the thing. Like, you still need a really big team fight win for this game to turn. You know? You still need quite a lot. The Static Storm from Y even dropped for the creep wave, apparently.
Dire's top tower is
Okay.
under attack.
Yeah, haven't,
I mean,
haven't
that
seen
could
that.
come back to bite them in the butt. Especially because Shiro might be getting jumped in a second here, Jonathan. They've got the Ags on PMA if they see him. TP away. He's going to be all right. Just, you know, be a little bit careful. Static Storm down for 75. That could cause some problems.
I also kind of get it for why, right? Like, it's
I
a rough
get it.
game. You just want him somehow.
But, you know, you
So he's
have
like, yeah, right.
Thunderstrike. You could have used Thunderstrike. But here we go. Speaking of why. This is what he'll get. See, I guess he knew this was going to happen. So now when he respawns, it's going to be off cooldown anyway. It literally, this guy's too smart.
Calculated.
This guy's too clever.
All calculated. Oh,
This might be as well. Don Shiro with his new BKB. I mean, he's alive for a little bit. Not for too much longer, though, as he does get caught out with the sync Q. And this really has felt like the kind of game that should have ended about 20 minutes ago. This Bark's doing what he needs to do, John. You know, he's going for a drive. He's calming down. Not much else to be done in this game.
nope. You know, Bach should take a note out of KP. Do you remember back in the day when TNC was still a
I
team
do.
and KP did some burnouts? That would help the cause.
It would. Not in this economy, though, Jonathan. Oil is
yeah.
not too cheap at the moment. Don't waste your petrol, ladies and gentlemen. Not worth it.
Radiant's middle
Ah,
My neighbors
There
don't seem
goes-
to agree, John. They keep doing burnouts. I don't know why. This is a real thing, by the way.
you
They're
just got to do it.
non-stop
It's in your
burnouts
blood,
at my
man.
house.
You should know. It's in your blood.
It's horrible.
You have to do burnouts, man. It's the Australian way. I bet you good old Anna's just doing burnouts right now. That's all he's doing since he retired. He's just somewhere out, I know, in the outback.
Maple Story Classic just
burnouts.
is coming out, John. Anna's definitely on Maple Story. Don't you worry. I guarantee it. Shout out to,
See, the thing is,
shout
I
out
don't
to
think
Anna.
you're wrong. I don't think
No,
you're
no.
wrong. He would be.
I guarantee you, he's buying NX Cash right now on Maple Story Beta. I guarantee it. Don't ask me how I know all these things, Jonathan. Was I there back in the day when Maple Story first? Yes, I was, John. I was an OG player. You know? Not
Wait,
these
when did you
B
play on
cops
OG?
that...
Whoa,
Radiant's top
you're an OG player?
You're a real jackass, John. Top lane. Well, even the Firestorm hurts so much. Poor Shiro. No, Peter Malice dropped
Alright.
right on the back door, jump in, Doom is out, Shiro's gone. Very anti-hype indeed. There's Bark. Bark is also dead by the looks of it, so is YNCQ. And I don't mean to be that guy, Jonathan. They probably could have called this 15, 20 minutes ago. But props to Vici for trying this one out. There was a chance. There was a chance. You know, props to them. It was a slim chance. And Navi, sadly, didn't really give them that.
To bring out that early aggression, win out their lanes, and force Navi to be the ones playing the farming game with their gyrocopter.
Absolutely. One of those things, we'll see if they can make it happen here in this game number 2. Vici Gaming, I love these style of drafts here from Vici, these fast-paced style of drafts with a coddle on the backside. It can just be so devastating for the opposing side if you can get off to a good start. So hard to slow down this style of draft from Vici, but if you do get off to a bad start in the laning stage, you can also just never take off. And that's pretty bad if you're Vici Game. You want to kind of ensure you at least have an even laning stage, I want to say.
Positive metal.
Don't let Navi have a really good laning stage. Because they shouldn't.
Yeah, I think an even start for either side. Let's say parity at 15, less than 1k lead either way. You're happy on both ends because both sides do farm really nicely. It's down to who can play their own game later on at the 20-minute mark. Because you have this really good single target burst potential from the side of Vici Gaming. You've got Roar, plus Ag's timing on Bach. You've got this Monkey that can scout, a Storm that can follow through and set up for the Monkey King. Whereas on Navi, it's a little bit different, right? You're looking for wider team fights. You're looking for really good chaotic offering usage. You're looking for like maximum usage out from the Fatal Bonds as well. So it's like different strengths for each draft. And that's where it gets interesting if the game ends up even at, say, around 15 to 20 minutes. Both sides can play to their strengths. It's just a matter who will find those openings. And when it comes down to it, I'd say maybe it's easier to play for VG, because hunting, running, and gunning when you've got a Monkey and Storm active at that point in the game can be much easier to find some of these opportunities in comparison to looking for wider team fights.
My fear for Vici is simply just don't let it be a slow game, because you are still up against a gyrocopter with a Warlock. And you give him enough time, like we were saying in game 1 for Vici, you give him enough time, they can start to get a little bit scary. You don't want to allow that to happen. It should certainly be a very strong mid-game with the draft of Vici Gaming, I want to say. We shall see, though. This laning stage is going to be pretty important here for this game number 2. Bottom lane, I don't know how much they can get done here up against Got the Juice, in fairness, John, because he has a Warlock support. You know, as long as you've got your Warlock there to spam Shadow Word whenever you get a little bit too low, you're probably going to be pretty happy as Got the Juice.
Yeah, you're going to be happy enough to farm. The one thing for Vici Gaming is they can shove out these waves quite hard. And you've got a Kotl, you've got the Axis coming in. You can constantly apply pressure here. It's going to be a little bit trickier for Riddies to try to justify a pull, because the creep wave will pretty much always shove out. There's not going to be much room for Got the Juice to field save. So it's a lane that's pretty hard to just leave alone for the most part here. But again, at least for Got the Juice, he's got that free regen, as we are seeing already. And, for Riddies, no more Black Grimoire, no more easy level 6. He's going to have to work for that EXP later on. There you go. I complained about it all this time. Valve decided, yeah, let's just remove it and not give Warlock anything. All right, cool.
You're welcome,
sure.
John. Is this what you wanted?
No.
Is this what you wanted, John?
He doesn't even keep the increased damage on the chaotic offering anymore. It's so sad.
As a parent now, I understand how Valve feel about you, John, because you just kept complaining. They gave you what you wanted. They gave the Black Grimoire over, the most broken facet in the game. You kept complaining. And like any good parent, they took the toy away, John. No more toy.
It should have been an innate. If frickin' Witch Doctor has his Gris, Warlock should just have his book by default and have a fun facet. Instead, we get nothing.
Why are you
nothing.
comparing yourself? You're comparing yourself to your older sibling, John. That's what you're doing. You don't need to do that. You had your toy. You didn't play with it. Now you don't get it.
It was a bad toy. It was a bad toy. Now you're just making things worse.
My kids say too, John. And they get nothing. It's that simple. Welcome to the Phoenix household. You're welcome.
Yeah, there you go. Still taking a gander up top outside of all these parenting talks. Parenting advice with Michael Phoenix. Not a book I would buy. Maybe in the future. I'd give it a few more years, Mikey.
John. Trust me. Trust me.
You've got our kids playing up top. PMA and Days, of course, up against Shiro. And while I do love what they're doing, again, cutting the tree line, preventing any easy angles for these bushwhacks to come in. Shiro's having a pretty decent time, but so is PMA. Not really being shoved out. A little bit of aggression bot.
Yeah, Bach is not having a good time. He will go down. Riddies happily claiming the kill with the Fatal Bonds level 1. It's Gyrocopter, John. He'll just run you down with a Rocket Barrage. There's not much you can do about it. You got to be a little bit more cautious, and that's pretty much all that happened. Nothing special, just classic Rocket Barrage spam.
Again, your presence here for VG is down to wave clear. You've got the Axis, you've got these Illuminates coming in. All you can do is really shove the wave out, but if you just shove the wave out, then Got the Juice is also equally happy. He just gets to farm. There's no real threat. I mean, he stands far back enough that it's hard to land these hits consistently, even if you do. Like we talked about, Riddies can just heal him up. Level 2 Shadow Word, no problems. Sustain true. Not a care in the world. Forgot the Juice, he can just play his own game. The mid lane matchup has been a little bit more quiet, but XM is slightly ahead as you'd expect here for the Storm. Static Slide, giving more options for safety. There isn't too much emphasis on these water runes. You are seeing some support sneak up now, but not a full commitment out from Daze. Instead, is trying to build up some stacks. At least has the Ancients stacked up a bit. Some good farm to eat through later on for Got the Juice or PMA. And overall, again, a pretty even start in terms of lanes. Like, almost every single side having an equal amount of farm. Maybe Bach a little bit further behind, but he always has jungle access himself. Already getting to work on the
top
large
lane,
camp in the
Shiro.
triangle.
Shiro's dropping a lot here. He'll be all right, just barely. The acorn shot, it didn't bounce. So thankfully for Shiro, he does barely survive. There's one thing you got to be worried about. It's still a bristleback, and yeah, I thought this would be the one lane where Vici Gaming should feel quite confident with a Dazzle on hand, but it's level 1 poison touch. He's got no mana at the moment anyway. It's just, even with the MK Dazzle, it just doesn't feel that great apparently right now for Vici Gaming. So they are playing slightly more defensively, just ensuring that the CS will come in for Shiro, trusting that he'll be a little bit more useful later on. But yeah, I mean, PMA still having a grand old time. No real problems. In fact, now he's got a Shadow Word reset for himself. And yeah, it doesn't seem like the lane matchup's really bothering the Bristleback whatsoever.
No. Just having a final time farming. Heck, they even dragged up a Warlock here. He's just making the move over to Shadow Word up. Not really able to look for a play. Maybe on mid.
Oh, look at this.
That damage.
Look at this. Imagine he had Black Grimoire, John. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is just absolutely busted. Look, he's not even there and he's going to die, John. Look at that. Reddy's literally has to hurt himself because nobody else can. And you were complaining when he had Black Grimoire. What's wrong with you? You see how these damn kids these days are so spoiled.
Oh, shut up, Mikey.
So
Come
spoiled.
on. Come on. Come on. It should have been an innate. Witch Doctor gets his Gris, Warlock gets his Black Grimoire. All is even in the world. It would be. You know it would be.
I should have had a
but
childhood, John, but it never came. It never happened. Nico,
Radiant's turret has been
there's a lot of things my dad said I should have had, John, but it never happened, alright? I want to hear it.
I can't help you there, Mikey. I don't know what to say. I'm not
I've got a lot of trauma, John.
therapist.
I've got a lot of trauma.
You know, if this goes 60 minutes, we could do a little bit of a therapy talk if you want, you know. Later on, there's still a game to be played, Mikey.
God,
Right
I
now.
hope not. For all our sakes, I hope not, John.
Oh, Got the Juice is pushing his limits here. He wants to go for the Shrine of Wisdom. Very little HP, though. But they're actually backing away from him. They've got the numbers here.
Got the juice. So he's taking high ground. He's found some stats. Got the juice. Can't believe what he's seeing. Oh, whoopsie daisies. Get out of there. Got the juice. He's holding his ground. He wants him. The Eliminate's going to connect, and now they've got the storm on the backside. Got the juice is gone. Oh, you got a bit too excited.
Oh,
They've got the whole team here. Vici brought everyone. My goodness.
Oh,
They
Riddies
brought
is
all
just
the boys.
Riddies just hides in a tree and TPs away. That's his contribution done as the Warlock. Just drop the Fatal Bond, Shadow Word, and see ya. All he could do. I mean, good punishment from
goodness.
Vici. They do manage to clear out the stacks as well, so that's important for him for Bach to find to rush into this classic Dominator build, although.
Q getting a little bit overly confident now. Will pay for it with his life. I mean, all things being said and done, you dragged your whole team there. You only really got the Gyrocopter, which is still a great kill, but it doesn't feel that amazing because PMA now being chased down top lane. Shiro's going to try and continue the aggression with the Primal Spring in. Boundless connects, and he has got the damage. Great kill here from Shiro. So it does seem as though Vici kind of sending the message that they're ready to try and get a little bit more aggressive here in this game too.
And again, this is where their lineup shines. They can play really aggressive early on. They're even coming in to invade some of these stacks. Clearing out just a few of those large camp stacks. They spot out the Ancients as well. A little bit harder for XM and SinQ to go for that. But you're seeing again the difference in the draft. Like there's such a huge amount they could do here in the early game. You're ready to go on XM because you have this Koffel with you. Soul Ring up, Koffel on hand, with the Chakra. That's all you really need. And for Navi, it's them that needs a little bit more time, right? We talked about diffusal timing for Niku. He's fairly close. Is going with no brown boots for this one, but the diffusal alone should do some work. Still about 500 gold away. PMA, a little bit short of anything major just yet. And it's been a little bit slower for the offlanes overall. Speaking of PMA, just getting poked hard by Shiro. Quite hard.
is, however, they have found themselves a hoodwink instead. So Daze is going to drop. XM is the one able to claim the kill for himself. Pings were coming out. They want to fight, it seems like. They've got the juice and Riddy's over to this top lane now. Seeing if they can force a fight against Vici, but they do a great job to just disengage. And nothing will really come of this. Not yet for NAVI. They could stick around for a T1 tower, and it seems like that's going to be the call for Got the Juice. Mind you, they don't have the siege creep. But it doesn't really seem to matter. Because they've got a bristleback, and that'll prove to be enough.
Got enough output here. No defense coming out from the side of Vici Gaming. They are getting a bit of a shove down bot, but bot doesn't really have much to play with. Does have the Dominator up, at least to help things just a tad.
They're trying for Niku here. Power Rune's going to spawn bottom. So they're not really even trying for Niku. They just want to ensure that XM does get the Power Rune. Does get a mana top up as well here from Q. So he's a happy boy in the mid lane. Big group up here by NAVI. In fact, they're going to try for XM just a little bit with the Fatal Bonds and Swashbuckle damage. And it is significant. But instead now, the smoke down towards the bottom lane. Vici will do the exact same thing. So both sides smoking towards that bottom T1 tower. XM hasted up, is right behind Niku, who is going to get spotted now. Smoke is broken. They want the Warlock instead, though, but he does drop the Golem in time. They'll commit the Raw now onto Niku as well. Niku's still alive. Riddies is down, however. They'll jump in onto Bark, and Bark just melts to the damage output of Got the Juice. They've even found Q in the back. Q going to drop. Looks like XM wants to continue, but he's out of mana.
No mana.
He's out of mana, and the Golem's just chasing him down. Unfortunate. Trying to defend the T1. You've got to be a bit cautious there, Mr. XM. This Golem just absolutely frame mogging right now. Will not allow XM anywhere near him.
Wait, what did you say?
Frame mogging,
mogging?
Jonathan.
Frame
They call it
mogging.
frame mogging.
What the
He took the
heck
whole
does
frame,
that mean?
Jonathan. It was clever if you understood what the definition of the term was, John.
I've heard of mog. I don't know what
Look at
frame
this.
mogging is.
Do they even get the Golem? Can they even get him?
Yeah, they
Oh,
do.
they got it.
100 gold. There you
Plus
go.
100.
Frame mogging.
Very nice.
I see a lot of brain rot, Mikey. I have no clue what you're talking about. So that's either very
That's
next
all right.
level or very old, trying to fit in kind of lingo, Mikey. Good to see you're ready for when the kids turn into toddlers. Well, they're gonna love
I'm trying
that.
to keep up. I'm trying to keep up.
Oh,
I'll tell you, my
maybe
oldest just turned 3, John. They call them three-agents, and I can see why. I'll tell you. The things they say to me, it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. I would have never dared say the things she said to me to my parents. I would never.
Yeah, well,
Horrible
you know,
stuff.
that little one is, she is a handful. I will hand her that. Then again, considering who her dad is, they catch Shiro.
Oh, no! No! He's alright. He's gonna make it. He's okay.
Yeah, that little transformation.
Don't you worry, Jonathan.
Ooh. Oh,
XM, they'll make a jump in. Niku, he's very tanky, but maybe they'll have enough. Shield crash, no, the Rolling Thunder. It doesn't make it in time, XM. He's got the damage, and they'll jump for more now. Daze should be going down. Can't really see a world where he actually survives this, and he does not. That is not great news for NAVI. You don't really want to see Niku dying like that.
No, you need to commit so much more to control up a monkey before bursting down. It's just the nature of how this hero is now. With him having his Wukong's Mischief on hand, it's just quite a fair bit if you don't have enough control. And there is a lack of it here, especially if you don't have the Chaotic Offering, you're not going to commit the roll from Niku, then you always have this window of opportunity to bail out on Shiro. 5-7, still the 1k lead on Navi. A lot of that is down to all of the space that Got the Juice has found for himself. Is going for a bit of a different build, Manta style in next for a gyro. And still not looking to be too aggressive. I mean, yeah.
No, I mean, everything's working just fine for Got the Juice. All things being said and done, like this is around the time I'd say where I'd expect Vici Gaming to be rather aggressive with the way they want to play this game number 2. In fairness to them, they did just take down Niku, but maybe a little bit more aggression is what I expected, because right now Got the Juice's complete free farm, and right behind him is PMA Network. This doesn't feel like a great idea if you're Vici to allow the gyrocopter to just keep free farming in this game.
No, but it also goes down to how they're itemizing, right? Like, you went for the Dominator build on Bach into the Overlord. He doesn't have a blink, so you're kind of reliant on just the Storm and the Monkey to start things off, and it can be a bit risky. They want a little bit more to be up on XM. They're looking for that Witchblade for additional damage first, with Akaya fully done. So you're also forced to play a little bit more farm-heavy in comparison to if you had, say, a Blink and Ags build up on Bach. I think that would lead to more aggression overall. You are just matching sort of this later timing that you're looking for from Navi, and it's like we were talking about earlier. If you're at parity at 15 to 20, it's still fine for both sides here.
XM? I mean, Missile's going to follow XM. He's okay, though. With the Invis, they're not going to bother. For Navi, the thing is, as long as they hold this bottom tier 1 tower, Got the Juice has constantly got this area to farm. And it just means he'll never drop in net worth, because he's got a great area to farm. He just constantly has the lane, his top lane. They do chase down Niku. Niku will die. So they at least find some very valuable kills in the meantime of a top lane. Days will also be dropping. This is great kills here from Vici. I just wonder again, do you get concerned at all with Got the Juice just free farm?
I think you should be.
Here we go.
At the same time.
Maybe he's gone too far. Roar is out, they've got him. Got the Juice.
Ooh.
Well, as I said it, he ends up paying quite heavily for it. In fact, it's a lot of damage being dealt to this MK, but it won't matter in the end as Riddies will drop. Well, there you go, Jonathan. Never mind any of what I just said, because Vici Gaming, they just take care of it.
Yeah, and again, it's just down to how Vici's playstyle is. If they see anyone fragmented off the map, they know they can drag these heroes across the map really quick. With Storm and Monkey, it just doesn't take too long to lock someone down. In fact, they're looking for a bit more. PMA's right by the tier 1. They can TP in to help, but
whoopsie days, I mean.
too quick.
We're 16.5 minutes in now. PMA is still sticking around to try and defend that tier 1 bottom tower, but it is, I think, late enough to leave it. You know, it's gone.
Again, it's just the beauty of this lineup from Vici. It's not very cooldown reliant. You have a lot of damage. You have a really good single target control. You have this synergy. If Xingqiu can connect and he has a Spirit Form, Solar Bind, softens him up so much for all of his magic damage. It's just so quick to find that win. For Navi, I mean, where they find the most success is when they actually play as 5 into a 5-man from Vici Gaming. If they can land bigger chaotic offerings, bigger usage from the Fatal Bonds, that's when their lineup really shines. They just have been a little bit more, again, fragmented here.
Mid lane, they'll go again. Looks like they found Niku, but the Rolling Thunder going to allow Niku a chance of going after this Storm. He's just been perma-stunned with the Shallow Grave. It's going to buy time for XM to narrowly just get out. I thought perhaps the last little stun would have landed, but it didn't quite. They'll turn their attention onto Y, taking him down, but now the Wukong's command committed. Though it is only very briefly. Shiro backs off. And Navi, for them, it doesn't really matter if they find any more. All they want to do is survive Vici Gaming's ganks and continue farming. In fact, they found themselves a Storm now. Ooh. XM is going to be okay. They'll commit the Roar onto Daze instead, who is going to drop. XM will survive and gets the reset now from Xingqiu. They'll continue Roshan. They'll try to force Navi to them. PMA will start to move in. Roshan half HP right now. But they haven't even got the Juice there. Got the Juice is casually running his way over. But they have forced Vici out of the Roshan pit at least for a little bit.
It's a bit dangerous for Vici to force that fully. They should know Chaotic Offering is back up for Riddies. It's a very tight area to fight in, and that's what Navi enjoys.
Oh, they're looking at mid lane. Yeah, Got the Juice has been caught, but it is only XM and Y. Not really too big of a deal if you don't have that Beastmaster around with the Roar available. Still got 20 seconds for Bach to have that off cooldown anyway. And in fact, might be 20 seconds too late because Got the Juice is here, but Smoke is broken on Sync Q instead. They'll just deal with his creeps. The Prowler, it did do a lot of work. Still Boundless, gonna land onto Ridius, who might just need to drop the golem, but he's got no time for it. He'll have to hold out. Na'Vi looking to retreat. Will be able to do so, but keep in mind, Roshan's still half HP. It's 20 seconds without that Warlock golem. And it doesn't seem like Na'Vi are gonna dare try and buy the time to have Ridius back up. It is gonna be Roshan to Vici.
Yeah, and that's such an interesting move from Na'Vi to commit so hard. Their smoke breaks, they don't quite see the Cottle up north to them. They chase these creeps, and they put their Warlock in a really ugly position, and they're just playing without vision in that area. Like, yeah, I get that they're under pressure to try to make this smoke play, but they just had no scouting capability. Even though that smoke wasn't first spotted out, it wasn't under a ward from Vici Gaming. But the Warlock's such a key part of these team fights. Like, if you lose him early before he uses Chaotic Offering and Fatal Bonds, that fight is over. Right? You get away with so much on the side of Vici Gaming. 20 minutes in now, 6-14, a 4K lead for Vici. And it's like we were talking about earlier, this style of play for Vici Gaming is a lot easier to execute. You can just look to punish small missteps, find pickoffs, rinse and repeat.
XM. He's gonna find himself a primary target and Got the Juice. They've actually done a lot of damage too, but they missed the balance strike, so Got the Juice. He's able to walk out of there. The cavalry is now here, though they missed the bushwhack. They do at least land the sharpshooter on XM. But just a complete mess of a fight. Meanwhile, bottom lane's being forced in by Bach. Niku is around to defend. Again, Na'Vi, I mean, all their eggs right now are in the Got the Juice gyrocopter basket. And he needs a lot more time. He is nowhere near ready yet.
No. Like him going for this more defensive build-up of Manta and Hurricane Fire, there's a lack of damage here. Overall, it also just feels like you're not ready on Niku. I'd say the bigger tool here is this Pangolier and his disruptiveness in these fights. We haven't seen that fully yet on Niku. Waiting for that full axe to be done, 800 gold away until that last component's farmed up. Then ideally you'd want something like either the Blink or the Basher to be up here, because it's just a matter of reaching into the backline. Navi's biggest challenge is they don't have that big mobility to catch something like the Dazzle or the Cottle at the back, and if you leave that Dazzle alone, like, a sustain is just wild.
Nice step forward from XM. He's going to find Daze. So Daze with a very nice bushwhack onto 2 targets. Not making it easy. XM not able to secure the kill. But he does create enough space. They can pressure that mid-tier 1 tower now with all the creeps of Bach. And they've got it pretty much for free. No real contest, just an easy one. That'll be enough for the side of Vici Gaming. They're happy. And all 3 of their cores are right behind the gyrocopter net worth right now. So Vici Gaming, they'll hold on to a 3k net worth advantage. Again, Got the Juice, he's just got so much work to do before he's at a stage where he's going to feel confident enough to actually fight Vici Gaming 5v5. I mean, mind you, they do have the Fatal Bonds bonuses, so like, even without the crazy amount of damage on this gyrocopter, they can still do a lot of crazy work. But he at least wants a BKB, which he is working towards right now on the gyrocopter, but he hasn't got time, because bottom lane, they've jumped Daze again, so Daze will turn around now. There's no matter on XM. He's going to lose the Aegis. Didn't have much time anyway. He'll get the reset. Another bushwhack will land onto XM, but this time he's going to be fine. Nothing of value really lost anyway. The Aegis was going to expire rather soon.
Yep, maybe if they were a little bit more patient, could have paid off, but Navi's set to go. You've got Chaotic Offering. VG gets a really good read, starts to back off. Again, all you have to do in VG is not give them the big team fight they'd want on Navi. If you're clumped up, Navi can find wins. You just need to pick them off one by one, and VG just very disciplined. Back off, go back to farming, and get this consistent build-up they've been eyeing for. Like the BKBs is set to happen very soon for Shiro. Got the same thing going for XM, so double BKB timings kind of lining up for Vici Gaming. You've had the Overlord for a while on Bach. You've got the full AC now as well, mitigating quite a fair bit of that physical output you're looking at from Got the Juice and from PMA. So you have a lot of these good answers on the side of Vici and Navi. I mean, if they don't find these team fights, their pickoff potential just isn't that high, unless, again, the supports make a misstep. But Vici Gaming has been playing very smart on the map. They're hogging their area of the map. There's not much forward vision here from Navi outside of the triangle area. But beyond that, across the river, a bit of a blind spot for Navi in terms of trying to get any of this aggression going. So it's just harder to play around his strength of having Warlock. And even if they do, it just feels like it's so easy to spot Riddies. You've got a Storm, you've got a Monkey. You have so many ways of jumping the backline that Navi just doesn't have in the same way. At least not until the blink of Niku is up. And that blink is still a long ways off here. And even with that blink, again, double BKBs on these cores means they're going to be able to stand and try to defend their supports, even if you get that jump on the backline.
Oh, Vici, I mean, they're trying to get some things done. They'll get a tier 1 top tower. There's double BKBs now, one on either side. XM's got his own and Soda's got the juice. I'm sure both sides will want to try and smoke off the back of those. Again, if you've got the juice, you're happy to just keep waiting, because you're onto a Daedalus next. Problem is, they are running into a bit of a fight. Shiro around trying to get vision. We'll see got the juice underneath the creep wave now. Vici playing pretty safely. Shiro is going to get spotted here by PMA. They'll rush in. Rod of Atos to lock down PMA. He'll get the BKB off just in the nick of time, though, as they'll move on to the Bristleback. But PMA is perfectly okay to just escape the Wukong's command. But he'll just jump back into it. He doesn't care whatsoever. As long as the Warlock's alive behind you, you're feeling pretty safe as PMA. And this is the thing, XM's going to find Riddies. Because that Fatal Bond's golden drop with the Black Cannon, it is very scary. They'll try again onto PMA. PMA is going to be fine, and Buck will just TP out. They'll lose the ancient dominated crypt that Buck had. Tier 2 bottom tower is gone, and that'll be all Shiro. It's just, unless you find the Warlock backside, I think you can't fight.
No.
Not as it's just too risky for Vici.
I'm surprised they commit so much on Vici as well onto PMA. Right, like, this is a really tanky Bristleback still. He's got the full Sanjin Yasha and the Consecrated Wrap, so there's that barrier you have to be aware of as well. They blew up the Roar and the Wukongs, so they don't get that follow-up fight. Granted, it's very easy for Vici to just walk away from that point and just give objectives. And Navi doesn't end up finding a fight where they want, right? They still hold on to Chaotic Offering. They don't manage to get this big team fight that they're really hoping for to swing this network lead back their way. They get the objective win. They maintain that vision on the triangle at the least, allowing an angle in later on. Maybe the next focal point for both sides, it's got to be this Roshan. Half a minute until it may respawn. A smoke out early here from Navi. A win here with an early Rosh timer could lead to a bit of a turnaround. Things go right.
Well, here we go again. App damage rune's available here for Niku. He wants to move in onto XM, but instead they're going to try for the Coddle. They found Sin-Q. Sin-Q making life as hard as possible, but the Roar is there onto the Pango. Can they burst him down in time with Wukong's command? It's still not enough. He's alive through it, but no, they finally get Niku down. They've got him. Vici Gaming. They'll continue the fight. But it seems like they're out of gas. Even with Niku down, they're playing a little bit cautiously, waiting for the right moment. They did have the Fatal Bonds practically applied to everyone, so they were pretty cautious to run into the Gyrocopter. And so Niku goes down, that's going to be enough. Vici, they'll hold on to a 5k net worth advantage. But they're going to give Niku the time to respawn anyway, and there's going to be no major objective that's really taken off the back of this.
Yeah, but this is worrying for Navi. They drop Chaotic Offering, that's 2 minutes, without your big team fight utility coming in. So even if you have this roll, you're just going to get wrecked. I'm a little bit surprised Niku jumped in without committing the roll first. Like, he's jumping forward, looking for the backline, hoping to get a kill with just the swash and the shield crash. It's just not enough. You know, these supports are slippery. They can sustain themselves. They have a lot of HP padding from the items they naturally build up. And yeah, you just don't have enough. Again, you don't have enough mobility to help out with that Pango when he jumps in. You don't have something like a blink on PMA. Even then, I'm not sure if that's a massive help at all. Your supports can't keep up with how far forward you want to play. So it's just rough for Navi to look for those same kinds of openings as Vici does, because, again, it's easier for a Storm, it's easier for a Monkey to just look for that backline. It's just so much more straightforward to break apart that 5v5. And it's harder for Navi to actually look to force that 5v5. 6-15, 6k lead for Vici Gaming holding steady. Roche in about a minute for the guaranteed respawn. And again, this is where Navi can kind of make up for it. If it is a later Roche and you have that chaotic offering in the pit, things can still go your way.
They just got a Plasma up as well on XM with an Arcane Rune, so he's doing a lot more damage now in that Storm. Definitely a bit more of a threat by himself on that mid-Storm as they'll have a gander with the smoke. Vici Gaming looking around for a pick-off to start.
Tower is under attack.
XM, we'll see the hoodwink. Daze gonna get jumped immediately. The sharpshooter not creating enough distance. So Daze, Bushwhack is actually gonna be really nice, but he still had no help around. They'll force the BKB out from Shiro at the very least as XM. He's continuing to move in onto PMA. But Navi, they're happy to just stand their ground and wait for Daze to be back up. XM though, continuing. But the hesitation from Vici, even with Daze just down like that, they're just not confident to continue. He's not the target you want.
It's very calculated, and you are right. They want the Warlock.
XM.
They know it's long though.
They'll keep chipping away at PMA. Like, I'll say even if Riddies doesn't have the golem, it's the fatal bonds. Once he applies it, you're in big trouble. You've got to be so cautious with these combos. His bottom, a Bushwhack. They caught Shiro on the Monkey King. Meanwhile, mid lane, they're trying to fight this one out. XM, he's out of mana. He just has to run. Got the juice meanwhile, chasing down the Beastmaster will find nothing for his trouble. Somehow nobody's dead. Nobody ends up dying across the map. Everyone survives.
This is still really rough for Navi. Again, they drop Chaotic Offering. Again, it's not leading to much here for Riddies. And even if he is getting off these Fatal Bonds, if your Chaotic Offering stun time isn't there, then you have no way of keeping these heroes pinned down. And they are highly mobile heroes on the side of Vici Gaming. They'll try to force Roshan because they committed that Golem. And Vici, at the least, Wukong's is still down for a little bit longer. They could try. This isn't the quickest Rosh in the world here. There's an opportunity.
And got the juices keeping a slot open for himself. Just put the Falcon Blade away. He'll play 5 slotted at the moment as the gyro. Very, very confident here from Got the Juice. I say confident. You know, he can't afford to not get the Aegis. There you go. They'll move back into the Roshan pit. XM, he's hanging around, they'll jump in, but got the juice. He's got the Aegis up. And now, Vici, they could be in danger. The Lotus Orb bouncing Niku, but Niku, he's still going to end up going down. The Roar meant nothing. At least the bounce meant nothing. They'll continue the fight, but they don't want to move into the high ground. They'll retreat now as Sinkyu. He will end up going down, and it seems like Navi, they want to keep going, but they're not 100% sure. They're out of gas. Niku does go down. They at least walk away with the Aegis. And that'll be enough. It'll be a 1-for-1. Vici, I mean, it is favorable in the sense that they get a bit more gold out of it, but they really wanted that Aegis and they don't get that.
Having the safety net up for Got the Juice does help Navi prolong this game a bit more. It is quite painful for Niku this game. Every single time he's trying to make plays, just constantly getting stun locked up. This build-up for the Lincolns is going to be massive, but it's still going to be quite some time until that's up, and the Lotus alone just doesn't cut it. Even if you reflect that Roar and Bach, again, no one can jump forward. Right? There's just this lack of backline reach that's really showing up here for Navi. Fermenter to be taken by Vici Gaming, gonna get themselves a nice free shard for Shiro up. So a lot more mobility coming out here for our Monkey. And I have to say this, you know, I didn't get to rant about this because we weren't seeing it much yesterday, but this change with Harpoon, that you can harpoon a freaking tree, it is so dumb. I hate it. With every fiber of my being. Are you telling me that melee core's biggest weakness before is that they have to commit with Blink and they can't bail out of their attack? They get a little bit of a freebie now with a stupid harpoon? Huh?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Just giving everyone a getaway? It is free. It doesn't matter. Save it. You blink in, you have his Harpoon safety net. It's long enough range. Tie that with Monkey King and his free shard. How are you supposed to catch him? It's insane. Why? Why did Harpoon need this? Why?
Dire's middle tower.
Why not?
Why?
Is I think was the answer that the Valve had in mind.
It's
Why
so
not?
dumb. It's so dumb. You know what's funny though? I guess a Harpoon clockwork is pretty funny to see. Hook shot in,
What?
Harpoon out. Yeah.
Nobody's doing that, John. Literally nobody's doing that. And they're
someone's
never
gonna do
gonna do it because that's just stupid, John.
Radiant's
Oh, you say it's
Just
stupid.
dumb.
You say it's stupid. You get a force staff, you get a Harpoon with hook shot. Oh boy. You're going around, you're having fun, brother. You're having fun.
I mean,
Or it's Spirit with
dude, just
Harpoon
pick-
like you roll and you Harpoon a tree.
Dude, just pick up Timber Sword, dude. Then you have double.
Oh, there you
chains.
go.
Like, think
yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Now you're thinking, Mikey. There you go. That's the point. Pick Timber. Go Harpoon. It's going to be cooking. It's cooking. As Mike once said, frame mogging. That's how you frame. What does that even mean?
Listen, I want
what
to make
is
it very
that?
clear. I don't watch these streams, okay? The YouTube Shorts, the algorithm, it just does its thing. You know,
You don't watch the, you don't
I
watch
don't
the
recommend anyone.
AI time
Oh,
trap.
hold on a minute, John.
PMA?
PMA. Oh, nice
that's a
goal
good
and
goal.
drop. PMA's gone though. It's a great start. They'll move in onto Riddy's. Riddy's about to die, still surviving. He's got the juice now, moving in onto Shiro. Shiro, he's in the middle of everything. The shallow grave. It buys a bit of time here for the MK to try and get out as XM. Actually buying even more time for Shiro, who somehow gets out. He actually boundless strikes out of it. They just couldn't kill the MK.
It's just not enough damage coming in. You do need that bristle pack up to kind of buff up, not to juice his output. Like that's one way you get through that Wukong's command with some of that viscous nasal goo coming in, and because PMA just dies, you don't have that. So there is a lack of output here. You see Got the Juice going straight for the Divine Rapier now, which it makes a lot of sense. There's just not enough here to rip through everything. I mean, again, you have to kind of play through Shallow Grave now because your backline reach, it's only Nico alone. Can't really reach that far back either without risking so much. So many things coming out from VG now. Full Ags up on XM, the blue hole is up and running. More control coming in for a team that it doesn't feel like they need even more, but they're just getting it. The Will-O-Wisp is up now as well, which, by the way, got some damage as well for whatever reason, just to cancel Blink, so that's funny.
are scanning.
85 damage, nice to farm up creep waves as well, as I have learned in my pubs. Very hilarious. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Great. I mean, you could just, you know, illuminate the creep waves as well, John.
You could use both, why not? Right, at 60 seconds, who cares?
I mean,
Right?
you know, I think your team
Chakra
would disagree
yourself.
with that sentiment, John.
Chakra yourself, drop it, illuminate. You can farm a creep wave and farm some camps at the same time now. Amazing. Efficiency, Michael Phoenix.
That's true. Look at this. Got the juice. On the high ground he goes. He couldn't give a crap this block. He's already got a Divine Rapier queued up too, by the way. He knows. It's one of those games. It could get challenging. He wants to be the Chad in this game. P3 tower under siege. XM gonna jump in. So will Shiro with the Wukong's command. All of it just on the gyrocopter. And they've got him. Got the juice. He just melted. The Satanic did nothing. And now they'll move on a more PMA. Force the BKB and just run for his life. But XM's got basically unlimited mana. So he runs right into the Rolling Thunder of Niku, who's currently trapped, who have to TP himself. Just, can they find anyone? No one's left. But they get the big one. I mean, they got the juice. He popped Satanic. It just didn't mean anything because he wasn't able to attack anyone.
Yeah, he doesn't have Ags, right? Like he bypassed this Ags in his build-up. You can't right-click. Well, it's not like you have that side gunner to help you lifesteal. And I'm surprised he makes
That's
that move
true.
without Aegis. Right? Like he didn't have Aegis on hand before he went up. And I'm surprised they make that choice because, again, it's very locked into a very specific style. It's down to chaotic offering, getting fatal bonds, hoping Niku can find a roll into the back, which we haven't seen. Easy clear for Vici Gaming on mid. They can go back and reset. I mean, they are the team down without any outer tower, but it just feels like Vici Gaming are in control. 7-19, 12k lead up for NAVI. This Divine Rapier is one step forward, but it just doesn't feel like a safe game for Got the Juice to even just stand and fight, because he can't afford to act as bait like this. Someone else has to do it. PMA is likely your best shot of being bait, and he's done it quite a few times. It hasn't been amazing either. It's just been really rough to actually look for these big ways of dragging all of these heroes together, blocking the chaotic offering. VG's just playing very conservatively, not giving these openings out.
It's really shocking that he's still, like, he hasn't just prioritized going for an Ag's blessing on this gyrocopter. And, you know, like, it just feels like it's necessary in times like that where they just perma-stun. You know, it might keep you alive. I don't know if the Divine Rapier is going to make a difference if they just perma-stun you for the whole team fight, like we saw in that last one.
Yeah.
Here we go. Amp damage rune as well for XM now. They're all smoked up. They're ready to go. Question is, can they find a target? Answer is probably yes, because it is Daze underneath Vision right now, who will get caught out by XM. Glimmercape's going to make it. It's not going to make it that hard. XM's got it. And XM, he's been the shining star for his side as well. In fact, have they found more? They do. They got a run to Riddies. Riddies dropping, still barely alive, gets the ghost form off, and actually makes it out of there. The Vici not willing to commit all the way for that kill. You appreciate just how much caution Vici Gaming is showing towards NAVI. Like, they understand one bad team fight, and this lead that they've held for a while could just all be over.
It's also curious, you know, we were talking about...
Shiro got bashed there for a moment. Go on, John.
We were talking about the build-up and Got the Juice. He switched out to the Divine for an MKB, and he's actually buying out. I mean, there is a butterfly up on Shiro, but... Again, I'm with the greens with you. It has to be something like the Ags, or if you are going all in, you just need the Divine and rip someone else apart. You know, it's like... In this MKB, you can't even stand and fight anyhow. I'm not sure if it's going to do enough. And for him to get that damage, you have to be able to find the minus armor with PMA. A good snipe in the Courier, though. Taking away a very key Lincoln's pickup for 2.5 minutes here for XM. So it does provide a little bit more to play with, at the least, especially with the sight of Vice being farmed up here by Daze. That could catch XM off guard in the next 2.5 minutes, if that timing does align here for NAVI, which is hard to see for that support farm to kick in. 7-20. It feels like a pretty big reversal. Granted, not as one-sided as the last game for Vici Gaming, but Vici has been in control this entire time. They flipped the script from game one. NAVI, again, there is play here. It's just so hard to see how you get that done. I will say, though, at least Got the Juice has that Player's Bota, amazing neutral item to have for something like the Gyrocopter. If you do manage to get a kill, having that 15% base damage and 30 attack speed every single time is outstanding. But we haven't seen Got the Juice really nail a kill in a long time here, so not sure if you can even count on that.
Well, they just need a good setup, right? And here we go. A 5-man smoke from Vici. It's just the thing. They're waiting for the big Fatal Bonds golem play. Here we go. They're running right into them. Smoke. Big Vortex out. Aurora as well. They got the Juice. Does he have time? No. He does not.
He has no buyback.
There's just no time and there's no buyback. Got the Juice is down. PMA not looking too healthy either. Another Vortex on top from XM. Locking down 2. They'll try to retreat. PMA. He's under the high ground. He makes it for now. XM another Vortex. Catching another 2. Daze will go down. Now onto Nico. Nico surely can't survive it, and he cannot. XM is just annihilating them left, right, and center. Riddies is gone. GG is cold. They've seen enough. There you go. It just... NAVI, props to them, John. They try to make it work, but... It's just Vici Gaming. Every time they find Got the Juice, he just has no answer. No. There's no save.
No. And again, I think...
Vici Gaming, they'll just be looking to play defensive. You know, whether they can do so or not with their own draft, we'll have to wait and see. But game 3 is where we're at. I mean, game 1 and 2, both very exciting between these two sides. We do see the common respect here between Sinkyu and Niku.
Lies failure.
Why does not feel the same way about Riddies?
He's too locked
Enjoy
in, Mike.
Dota.
You know,
Enjoy.
he's
Dota.
locked in.
Enjoy.
Watch the master
Focus.
at work.
My horses neigh, and
Little smoker.
so do
You know what? I just realized
is-
it always disturbs me mildly when I find a support player that's just Grandmaster or above, or like whatever level that is, the level 30 on a hero. It's just like you're playing support and you're spamming this one guy to level 30. It's kind of crazy.
That's.
I mean, I can forgive chorus because they can have fun, and the heroes are fun. Like it takes a sick mind to be like level 30 Grimstroke, you know. Level
Hey.
30 CM is just the most deranged person you'd find on the planet, I think.
I guarantee you, Riddies spam Grimstroke because he knows that if worse comes to worst, he can build Ags and carry the game. I guarantee you that's why he spams it. And it's worked.
The battle begins.
And as a support player, John, that's what you do, right? You spam heroes. You don't get the luxury of having fun. You spam the damn hero that works for you, and that's what Riddies has done. And I know for a
Damn,
fact he does it because of the Ags. Because he just
Yeah,
gives himself a
that's fair
chance no matter what.
Fair enough. I accept those points. You know, no justification for like a CM level 30. I will say Niku just styling again. Slight fist, little snag on the bounty. Very tight
Very
timing.
cold.
And you get that extra start here for Navi. This matchup for Niku, this should be a little bit more even. Maybe a little bit more fun for XM if you can just play spacing. Curious to see what build we see from our Quap. Starting with a Scream of Pain. So some good poke back on Niku. No Flame Guard for Niku to try to block some of that early damage. A pretty nice courier snipe onto PMA though. Just some extra gold for White to find. And again, this mid, this one is more in line with what I think we were seeing yesterday, where there should be more fights over initial water runes. There should be more contestions over the power runes later on. How much space you have to make those rotations. Going to be pretty important for both sides to find. Still taking a gander up top as well. Sin-Q just doing what Shakers do when they're playing support, trying to look for a pull opportunity, blocking caps, getting pulled, trying to soak EXP. Bak can lane into this Beastmaster fine. You know, there is a little bit of a threat maybe by level 2 to 3 where there's this rundown potential with Stroke of Fate plus Inkswell, but you're also happy enough to just farm up here on Bak. And again, just try to soak up in Sin-Q a little bit slower up top. Probably our slower lane to watch out for, but it's just the nature of going back into that Shaker. And we'll just do Shaker things. Pull back and just soak. Down bot, and this is where it could be maybe a little bit more exciting. You've got the Tiny versus Centaur matchup for PMA and Shiro. And then you have this really good poke back coming in for Daze and Y. Right, so there is potential later on to just get the stun, try to land out, illuminate. Lots of damage that can come in. Easier said than done, but as the levels go up, that potential does start to become reality. They are fairly split apart though. Y is doing a great job of ensuring Daze cops quite a fair bit of damage whenever he's lining up for the Illuminate. And they're not really able to try to poke Shiro. So there's a lot of room here for the Tiny to just find his own farm and find his own build-up for the most part.
Yeah, it's pretty slow side lanes. I mean, every lane is relatively slow right now. Mid lane's probably the most exciting between Niku and XM. That is a very even affair. Props to Niku. He's been doing good work of just sustaining himself in this laning phase. XM's been trying pretty hard to harass him out, and you're reaching the stage where he's getting there with this level 2 spam of Scream of Pain. But the lane has been sustained pretty well by the Ember. Nobody's died yet. And chances are, if we are going to see a death, it's probably going to be in the mid lane with some hero rotations. So again, the side lanes, you know, you could see something up at top with the Bat Rider, but even that requires lanes. You know, he's not at that stage yet where he's just going to run somebody down. It's just not happening.
No. I think the one big thing you've set up here for on VG, talking about that mid, they've got the 2 early wards watching on the river, so they are set up for this 4 to 6 minute water rune to power rune fight later on. Again, both of these heroes really enjoy having these free bottle refills, so just a matter of do you have space. So far, it doesn't quite look like they're committing resources to start walking down, though Sinky's a little bit too low level, again, just looking for the pulls. So no excitement yet at the 4 minute mark. Or not. Looks like Sinky might actually just be working his way towards that and trying to give that advantage out. If Niku doesn't get the top up, XM starts to pull ahead hard here.
Niku really wants that water rune. Day's gonna show up, but can't really threaten at all as the Coddle right now. So XM just happily swiping it away from Niku, and both of them are secure, of course. I mean, Niku's just got a nothing now. As we do see that Sinkyu makes his presence known with that Fisher, and so Niku, he'll run back to the fountain, and this is where things get a little bit more challenging, as XM going to start to outpace him when it comes to the XP department. It has now hit level 5. This is what you want as Vici. You know, this is where you start to feel a little bit better. As I say, that Sinkyu is going to be chased down. Inkswell does end up connecting, but a nice TP, unless the Golem wanted to be cheeky.
No.
Thankfully, the Hurl Boulder was on a ball. Because that would have been very unfortunate for Sinkyu.
Would have been very funny. Would have been a nice moment for Sinkyu. He's a happy boy. He gets away. He's not getting the EXP he'd want, but he is providing all of that space you really need here. For Bach to just have his free EXP, for XM to win out on his mid. Niku is around a quarter level behind. He's getting some good damage in here, though. Forces Sinkyu to show up. And again, like you were saying earlier, Niku has been managing this lane quite nicely. See if they manage to get the advantage on Power Rune. That's the big one that turns this. Right? Like, if you get a good rune here for Niku, you get your 6 lined up anyhow, could be dangerous for the side of VG.
I mean, Niku, pretty calm now. The advantage from XM isn't that big. In fact, XM getting pretty excited. Though, nice stun coming out from Y, actually locking down the Ember, but it's not enough. In fact, the Inkswell doesn't actually land onto the Quap, so XM is actually still alive. Niku's forced to be denied by Riddies. At least they get the deny. But things went really just not well in that mid lane. Not that team fight. Because as soon as you missed the Inkswell, it was basically over, and now XM gets a regen. Well, that's just annoying.
Now, really unfortunate for Navi, but Vici's finding that start they'd want here. They're applying that pressure, getting all the runes. They have that early 6 up on XM. He's got that Sonic Wave if they want to commit into someone. And the supports are still stuck here. And VG's planting some really nice deep wards. And they don't quite see Days lingering on the right side, so they'll be forced to back off a bit. I suppose the one thing you're getting out here for Navi is some really strong farm out for Got the Juice. Like this Beastmaster is actually getting a really free ride up top. Same thing is going for Shiro down bot. Your timing's also enjoying this matchup up against the solo Centaur. There's not much you can really do to stop that. Some movement up top though, looking like they want to force something into these Shrines of Wisdom.
They are trying, and Bark's being chased down though. They've got Roar available, and Bark, he just melts. XM, however, big Sonic Wave, catching Got the Juice, but the Stampede gonna buy just enough time for Got the Juice to continue to run. They've got Blink up soon, but they're not going to be able to commit it on this Quap. So Got the Juice, I mean, that was very on the edge. But the thing was, with the wand charges, he was able to heal up just enough to allow the Stampede to come in. So he does get away with murder. And it's a big pickoff. I mean, first blood goes the way of the beast. You can't complain about that.
It took us 7 minutes to reach that point. And that's a big kill you'd want on Navi. A little bit of a shame that they couldn't commit fully for that Shrine of Wisdom. Maybe some counteraction here.
Oh, they got lasso onto Riddies.
Ooh, they don't get it.
Oh, they don't even get
the Ghost Creep.
Oh, that's the Ghost Creep. Well, of course it did. Nice little deny from the Ghost Creep. So Vici have been denied twice from a kill.
You know who's that working against them? That's Agent Ghost.
That's
right there.
Agent Ghost. Good on you, John.
Yeah, he's not even here yet. He's on the next series, but he's doing work against his friends on VG.
You've just started so early, haven't you, John? you just started so, like, there's just... OG's not here, so you're already picking, which other team you're ready for. And that's okay, John. I appreciate that you don't give us any surprises. You make it obvious straight off the bat.
Yeah, I'm an open book, Mikey. Very transparent. It's translucent. I'm trying to be transparent about this push up top as well.
Don't compliment yourself by calling yourself a book, John. You know you're not that clever, right? Books deserve a bit more respect than that. Why? It's gonna go down. You'd be like
Blackmore
a
doesn't
coloring book,
deserve
you would be,
respect,
John.
Mike.
You'd be like
I love coloring
coloring.
books.
I know you do.
They're great.
You know?
You know they make coloring books for adults?
You know,
Called, what,
John,
painting by the numbers or something?
I'm not surprised you knew that, John. I really am not. I didn't know that, but I fully trust you when you say that. By the way, there's adult coloring books.
Yeah. I mean, my sister was interested in them. Never got them, but they seemed fun.
Okay.
You know, I'm too busy taking pictures of birds. But
You have been taking some fantastic pictures of birds on what look to be electrical poles, John. Not quite
Yes.
in nature, but I guess in the
No.
Philippines it's quite normal, the sight of birds on electrical lines.
I wish I could go to Australia and picture some. What are the ones that dive bomb?
The magpie.
What are they again? Yeah, the magpies. That'd be pretty cool. Oh, Niku, not so cool.
No, he's pretty cool,
Does-
John. He's
He
alive.
hangs on.
Oh, no no ruin. Oh, it does get it in the end. He's still cool. In fact, a smoke bait. Sinkyu running. XM, he's there with Sonic Wave, but he will not have the opportunity. Got the juice, able to secure a quick one for himself on the Beastmaster, and he'll be right out. In fact, he's only about 1.2k away from having the full ags up on the Beastmaster, so you are getting to a stage where this beast is going to start being a problem. In fact, I said 1.2k. It is 2.2k, John. He doesn't have the Blade of Alacrity.
It's all right. Mats can be a bit hard, Mikey. I understand that for you.
I didn't notice the
It's
Blade of
alright.
Alacrity had him import. It wasn't
It's
an
alright.
issue.
Okay, if you say so.
Shut
It's
up,
all good,
John.
you know. I get it. You're getting old. Vision starts to fade. You know, certain colors aren't as visible on the spectrum. The color spectrum, it gets harder to see. Those corneas start to age. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay, Mikey. You know, it happens. But this is good news for Navi, and not that you can't see green, that they are finding this tempo. We talked about
Why is that
Navi
good news
having
for
to
Navi,
reach
John?
this early point. I mean, they need to play quick. They're trying again, just constantly applying this pressure all across the map, still looking, pushing just a bit more down bot. They've got that full Hump the Dominator. Always funny to see a Centaur dominate the Centaur Conqueror. He's got his
Yes.
little brother on hand,
It's got
trying
his
to
son.
get the chase down. Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He needs
So
his little
if
brother
the
or
big
his son.
Centaur is his son, if
Yeah.
the big Centaur is his son, the tiny Centaurs are what? His grandchildren?
Yeah.
Fair
That or it's the child that nobody acknowledges. It's like a middle child. You know what I mean? You know the one. Like we can pretend that doesn't. It does happen, John. We know. You know. Don't be embarrassed by it, John. We all get ignored once in a while by our parents.
Well,
you know.
I'm the eldest child. I have no problems here. I have no context for middle child.
You're the
Just two of us
eldest?
here, so
Your sister's younger than.
unfortunately.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Yeah, by the way she behaves, you'd never guess, John. Got the juice. You know, it's very mature. Or maybe you're very immature, John. More than likely,
Yeah.
I want to say.
Both of us. I can't believe it. We actually saw a screaming match in Dota 2. Have you ever seen
We
that?
did. That,
Both roars. And it's so much damage, and you just want to walk away. Accurate.
that's what marriage looks like, Jonathan. The way you described it was perfect. Tiny,
Shiro?
in trouble. Shiro, in trouble. Although he's actually pretty tanky.
Oh.
They'll soulbind them up, but nobody died.
Aw.
They are surprisingly tanky here on Vici Game.
I'd say it's less about being tanky. It's more that what is your damage source there if Niku's not around? You have a level 1 double edge. It's just not enough. Right? So getting these
Fair
connections out just with a Centaur isn't amazing. Maybe if you had max level double edge plus that solar bind, sure. I can see that happening. I can see that being enough magical burst, but without it, stuck at level 1, it's just not it. So they do blow a couple of spells there. They do threaten a bit, but it's not enough. And Shiro's still enjoying this game. Echo Saber up, Shadow Blade not too far off. As we've seen with Tiny, that's the key point when this hero starts to really hit like a truck, catch you off guard, find this backline flank, and look for that support burst, which when you're running Grimstroke and Coddle, I mean, it's very easy for the Tiny to try to burst them down. So a little bit worrying for Navi. Again, they found these 2 kills, but they don't really have the network lead. Shiro's still up
Raw.
ahead.
Oh, got the juice. He can't get it. He can't get it. This time the wife leaves the house before they argue, John. That's what happened. I got the juice. Wish my wife would do the same, John. She just won't. He just doesn't leave. Like, she'll follow you. She'll follow you. It's horrible. It is horrible. Don't do it to yourself, Jonathan. Can you tell she's not home right now?
No, I can tell she doesn't watch and work.
Radiant's middle tower.
You talking smack like this? Yeah, I can tell she doesn't watch this.
John. Not many people are watching, John. You can't blame her for that. Mid-tier tower. Under siege, Niku. And on retreat, XM being a bit of a bully. Already has the Aghanim Scepter queued up on the quad. Which is fine. I mean, nothing's really happened here for Vici. I want to say Vici's having a great old time. You know, like, there's just no pressure being applied. We've had 2 kills in 15 minutes, John. 4 if you count the 2 denies that VG Gaming had to deal with. I said Navi was going to be playing fast. I mean, this is just... It's like we're in a nursing home right now, I'll tell you, John.
Yep.
Things are slow.
It's worrying for Navi, because if this maintains into 20 minutes and you don't really have a lead, I mean, you've got that Ag spike on Got the Juice. Maybe you're just waiting for the blink now to gap close, but XM has a 2-level lead over Niku. Like you said, he's going for Ags already, has his Kaya.
Oh, here we go.
3 parts
Top
away.
lane. Buck doesn't show himself yet. Now does. Got the Juice, though, has already left the build. He's running. They're chasing, though. Got the Juice. He's okay. They don't have the catch. So, once again, Navi will be completely okay in avoiding any kind of fight. Power Rune, once again going to XM. This man just cannot miss.
No.
I know we're reaching the point, surely, where it's going to be Navi trying to get aggressive. Maybe just waiting for the blink on Got the Juice before they try for anything. But it's just, you've given so much time to Vici Gaming.
Yeah, it's way too much time. Like, again, Shadowblade, Echo Saber, and Shiro is a massive start. You're rushing a BKB now on Bach. Sinkyu slowly approaching Blink.
Well, they're going to change on XM. XM, he's still able to blink out of there. I mean, this is just not good. It is not good.
No. There's just no damage. And this is something we've seen from actually Vici Gaming yesterday, where their draft had some control, had some reach, but no damage. And it was with this +1 Beastmaster, it felt like, as well. And with that Wind Ranger game they had. There's no output. Not just yet.
They are still getting objectives. They're at least getting towers.
Top tower is under attack.
You know, maybe I'm trying to be a little bit too kind here, but they are at least finding towers. You know? It's just very slow. Niku?
It is.
They're going after Roshan. Do the 2 denies count? I mean, we've got time, John. If you're F10K, do the 2 denies count or not?
No,
I've
it
never
only
tried.
counts. I believe it's only whatever shows up in the scoreboard, so yeah.
Okay.
There you go. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, pretty sure Roshan's just dead here as well. Secondary life for probably Got the Juice, if not Niku, if he swings by here. I mean, surely at this point you make something happen. You've got that blink on Got the Juice. Got everything you could possibly ask for.
Not yet, John.
No.
Not yet. Let him cook.
I mean, you're kind of tempting things here. Ags, 1 part away for XM. A Harpoon for Shiro to start, you know, going around trees is going to be up relatively soon. Again, a steady build-up for Sinkyu's Blink here. Bach has BKB into his own Blink timing as well. Like, you're going to have to play into a lot of utility on VG. Again, your damage is basically these drums of Slam. And I don't know how long you can maintain that damage once, you know, some of these early BKBs are built up. It's a bit risky on the side of Navi. If you can land the double roar, perhaps, that's a different story. But that's a big if. You don't have a blink for Riddies yet, and he's further away from that blink than you are compared to, like, say, Sinkyu, who's much closer to that blink timing now. So again, we were talking about what these drafts have to do for Na'Vi. A game at parity, at near 20 minutes in, 0-2, it's not good. You do lose initiative. You do start to lose that power spike, that advantage with these early timings. And VG just starts to get pretty comfy in this game. Like, the danger point now is full harpoon done on Shiro, BKB next. Double BKB timing. Your drums to slam aren't going to do much for you. You don't have a lot of physical output here.
They are going to smoke up now. Here we go. They're ready now, John. Blink is up on PMA. So they've got another form of initiation now on your Centaur. They are looking to blow people up. Like, there's no lie about that. In fact, they're going to find a great target in Shiro. Hopefully they have detection for the Shadow Blade. Hopefully they have the detection. Oh, they still get the chains. No, they got the chains, they got the roar, it's okay. Shiro's still being caught out, but there's a fissure. Where's the damage? So, John, just to answer my prior question, they did not have detection for the Shadow Blade. They did not have detection. I just want to make that very clear.
Nico has dust in his inventory. He's just a little bit too far out.
He had dust in his eyes, John. He couldn't press the damn button. I think it is what it is.
Their issue was that Got the Juice was taking point and his smoke broke, and Nico was just a little bit further behind. They couldn't really get that shot. There you go.
No dust necessary for that kill. That's the first one, by the way, for Vici Gaming. That's 1-2 now. 3 whole kills, 20.5 minutes in.
Oh, it's outstanding. I feel right at home. It's like we're back in Southeast Asia, Mike.
This is perfect.
You know?
Shout out to it doesn't even feel funny anymore picking on Talon. You know, John? I know they're gone. It doesn't. I still wear their hoodie. I still now when nobody notices that I'm wearing a Talon hoodie, it makes more sense. You know, it's like, oh. But it's just this makes me kind of sad, John.
It is what it is, you know.
Days gets a Shrine of Wisdom, which is something Talon were apparently lacking, Jonathan. Financial wisdom. The days. Oh, the fisher. Very close.
So close.
Just like Talon were, John. Bottom lane.
Close to what? Close to
I don't know why I chose to say don't double down. It's not, someone's gonna protect them. Tormentor's gonna be taken.
I feel like the game has been a tormentor so far.
Oh. Well, I appreciate that's the route you took, John. I was thinking of another Talon joke with the Tormentor, but I had enough. I had enough. Just like our viewers may have had enough of this game, Jonathan. 1-2 so far. 22 minutes in.
Oh, man. You know, you were asking me. Those F10K guys are on the edge of their seats now. Anytime. Anytime, folks.
If there was ever an ad,
40 minutes, man.
This is the perfect ad to not gamble. This is why you don't do it to yourselves. Don't do it. This is what happens.
Oh, I mean, you know, it could be back 40 minutes for 10 kills. We'll see. Smoke out, Navi. Round 2. Got the Juice still doesn't have dust, but might find someone else.
That's okay. That's okay. Q is gonna get jumped. This is a great target. And they've got him as well. It did prove to be slower than you'd hope, though, right? Like, he jumped in, he got the kill. If there was help around, you might have been a bit afraid of a turnaround there from Vici Gaming, but nonetheless, we are now at 1-3, 23 minutes in. And look, while all this is happening, like, you've got a POS1 Tiny that isn't too far behind this Beastmaster. Like, he's still been free farming this whole time. He's almost at his BKB.
Yep. It's worrying for the side of Navi. And the fact that, you know, the itemization from Vici Gaming are going for triple BKB timing here.
No, ladies. It is what it is. You know. Not much you could have done about that.
No. Again, it's worrying for Navi because, yeah, you know, you got the slight advantage, but VG's just going triple BKB. And then, yeah, you're going to get the roar off, but your magic damage is going to be reduced by 60%. You're not getting even max out drums of Slam anyhow from the Roar nowadays. So I know. Ooh, XM. That's a strange spot to TP away from.
It certainly is. XM. Oh, Roar's gonna connect. XM is dead. Okay.
That was
It happened.
strange. He had time to cancel TP and blink away.
Another fight
again.
Another fight, Jonathan. PMA with the 3-man stun. Stampede away, actually surviving. PMA's not down. Niku's on the chase. Niku wants to keep this going. They don't have a Beastmaster, mind you. Like he's across the map farming right now. So Niku, I'm not sure what he's trying to do. Apart from die, apparently Niku's gone. And so is Daze. PMA was farming the whole time. Now, PMA, he wasn't even trying to get there.
Yeah,
What's happened? 4-4 now.
I'm not sure what's going on here for NAVI. Maybe PMA was making the call that, all right, no Stampede. There's clearly no damage here, just with Niku. So I think that's the right call to make, though. Niku just getting a bit overly aggressive, maybe not expecting that many heroes behind, but it's in a rough state now for NAVI. Like, this build-up forgot the juice. He's got his BKB up, fresh BKB at 9 seconds, going straight for Orchid into Bloodtorn to try to get some more damage going. Will help out. You've got the pipe for PMA. Try to mitigate some of that magical coming in as well, but I don't know, like, you've got the last
juice. Got the juice, please. Not like this, got the juice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's gone. And like Bon Jovi once said, Jonathan, we're halfway there. 5-4. Halfway there, ladies and gentlemen.
I feel like you've been holding on to that one for years, man.
I haven't, John. I just came up. I mean, there's nothing else to say. Like, nothing's happened in this game. Nothing. There's no analysis. I don't want to hear any complaints either. Nothing's happened. Nothing's happened. It's 5-4, 2k advantage. Got the juices dead somehow.
Yeah.
Pipe is up on PMA. Yeah, what is it, John?
This is exactly what we saw when Vici did this Beastmaster 1 yesterday, right? They lacked damage. They couldn't play around the early ags as it came out. They waited a bit too long. They had to wait for the blink to be up. They couldn't get kills without the Beastmaster on hand. And then you just lose tempo. How are you supposed to scale up now? Will we see a Hydra's Breath coming out in Niku as well? Is that the point we get to? Just 2.5% DOT? You hope you can keep going in and out and poking with Sleight of Fist? Is that it? Is that your damage? Oh, PMA. So close.
So that's alright. They still got Y. Although Y's got help in Shiro, who just deletes Riddies. And Y's not dying. That is bad news. That's very bad. I mean, Y just took no damage. Chase is on now for more. Niku is okay. PMA sticking around for a creep wave. Will get punished for it, of course. Nothing positive about this, but he's still trying to get out of it. Fisher to lock him down. Lotus Orb making life hard. Stampede has to be committed, but now a lasso gonna catch at least an Ember. Niku, he's still alive. So is Bark. What has even happened? Who's winning the team fight? Niku. Niku's down. And now there's an Ags up on our Eng. So we've got this. Why not? We've got little friends now.
No, it's amazing. Like, we were talking about this the last time. I mean, yesterday not so much, but the last time we saw this on an Ench, it's actually one of the most undervalued Ags, I feel like, and a lot of pros are recognizing it's really good. That root per unit is kind of nuts. Like, say Beastmaster has 2 boars, that's already an additional 1-second root comes in. Minimum 2 seconds, so you get a 3-second root on what, a 20-second cooldown? You're around a creep wave, this gets deadly. It is kind of nutty that this Ags is undispellable as well, by the way. An undispellable root lane every 20 seconds. That is nuts. So I appreciate that pros recognize it's really good now. It's been good for a while, and it's just insane. I think for NAVI, what happened there, they managed to layer that fight as best as you could hope for. Lasso comes, you get the Roar, you bail out Niku. It's still not enough because even with a Roar out, with BKBs up, there's no damage here from Got the Juice. The drums of Slam just aren't going hard enough anymore, you know?
Oh, PMA. Rudies. Oh, they're right together as well. PMA, he's going to get caught. Soulbind is going to be thrown out. PMA, though, already dropping so low, gets the stampede off, but is dead. They've got Buck at least. It's a 1-for-1 trade. So it seems like NAVI might be forced to fight Niku. He's in the middle of nowhere right now. He's buying a bit of time, but Niku! Bit too confident in his own ability to survive that situation, apparently. There goes Days. NAVI looking pretty lost here. 10-5, by the way, Jonathan. We've done it.
There we go.
We've got him there. Congratulations.
29 minutes. Not quite the longest we've seen. I think our longest was 44, if you can believe that. Trying on to Y, but Roche, slow progress, they're not going to fully commit. Still, I don't see Navi angling in for this one anytime soon. They've got the buyback in Niku. It's just such a massive risk. Gonna have to give this... Mind you, this is not the quickest Roche we've seen. So there might be some time here, but without Stampede up, you're not going to be able to fight into Navi. Vici Gaming in control of this game. 8k up now. And for Navi, I don't know where you're hoping to get damage from. It's just not there. Niku's having to go back for the Ags first. And again, we had, what was it? It was XM who had this idea to try to go for Hydra's Breath. You might have that idea again as well, but I don't know. I don't think it's enough. It's cool. It's not enough.
I mean, I think he needs a lot more than Hydra's Breath right now in December, I'll tell you that. So really, he's just going to get deleted live by Shiro. You didn't really need to see what happened there, John. Just an avalanche toss combination was more than enough. We've seen it before. I really can't believe the game got to this stage. Like, Navi just didn't do anything for the last 30 minutes, it felt like. Made a couple chases here and there, but that was it. They well and truly missed their timing. I'm not saying the game's over, but it sure feels over. Chase is on. Got the juice, forced the BKB TP away. They cannot do the same, however, for Days, who has been caught and is down.
I mean, it gets even worse. Lincoln's up and Bach. He's been the one being roared up, so he blinks in. It's either you're going to hit the roar, you're going to proc it with roar, you proc it with soulbind, which isn't ideal. And again, VG itemized perfectly. They utilized this huge down period where Navi could have played a bit faster, just very hard to see how. And again, this lineup, when it doesn't play quick, well, it falls apart. Like, yeah, double roar is still there, Stampede's there, but again, where's the damage? How are you supposed to kill anything?
Was this a caster's curse or something, John? Like, did I say they were meant to play fast, so everyone just played slow, or what? Look at this. They're just tossing around PMA. I mean, this is not nice.
Little friends.
And he's rooted in place
root,
forever.
Man. Yep.
Little friends. I mean, why even, like, not tell us? I mean, if they do tell us it can't be this, but okay, never mind.
Yeah.
So how did nobody know it was this broken?
I don't know. I've been saying it's kind of nutty. But people focus on, like, Dragonlance build. Yeah.
Nobody listens to
but
you,
they should
John.
have.
We're muted, John. Right?
Now you see the power of little friends. The worst part is, I experienced this in Dota OMG. It was in Dota OMG. I was like, what the hell is this? It is the worst thing to play against. And here we are. People recognize that. Maybe they all played some Dota OMG in the downtime, you know? They're like, hey, this felt pretty cool.
You never know, John. You never know. Chains out. They're trying to defend on Navi. I'm really not sure what the idea is now. They've got a Bloodthorn up on their Beastmaster. There goes Days.
Oh, the root, man.
Neko is rooted in place. He'll survive for now. They'll jump XM. XM is going to die, but can you get your Beastmaster out of there? The chase is on from Shiro. He's just so big. But Shiro is going to lose his life. At least the first one with the Aegis. So they've got XM down. Shiro will blink away. Looks like Barker's going to get left behind. And so Navi successfully find a fight. In fact, Shiro's been left alone. Do you have detection? Oh, Shiro!
Oh.
Takes out the support duo on his way. Echo committed. Sing Q not really doing too much damage. Shiro still being chased down. Finally got the juice. Gets here. They'll take down Shiro. Shiro is gone. This fight is very strange. Sing Q will now though. How is NAVI in this game still?
Well, they're doing a great job of splitting VG apart. Like, you saw how long it took for Sin-Q to make that decision to jump in. He's not able to jump in on that high ground siege, so they're not able to really provide great coverage. You also got XM caught off guard just a tad bit in the side. They were very split up, trying to focus down their damage on Niku while he was little friends rooted. And that split of attention just gave that moment for Na'Vi. This full Bloodthorn as well is providing damage for Got the Juice, especially as BKBs get committed earlier on. So in a prolonged fight, you do have this turnaround potential for some damage to come in. And felt like VG was just kind of all in with the Aegis, trying to get that mid set of racks, which they don't find as well. So it's a shot in the arm for Na'Vi. They get to stay alive a little bit longer. They still have their mid racks, despite losing their bot a while ago. And for VG, it's not the end of the world. They have to be a bit cautious about all of these items coming in, but it's still a very complicated process for Na'Vi to find that. I mean, if they find it again, you know, that's a different story. I'm not sure if VG gives you that opportunity because they were playing pretty over-aggressively there for the most part.
Yeah. Strange kind of game here between these two, but it's been a fun one. For who, I don't know, but it's been fun. You know? Bottom lane. Here we go. Defense is on. Shiro jumping in. PMA already losing half his HP. They throw everything at him already, but the Lotus Orb blocked Aurora off. Now the lasso. They've caught themselves a PMA Beastmaster.
Oh.
And XM screams him right to death. Nothing Na'Vi can do but run now. Though they are still trying to chip away here with Niku, but Niku can't really keep the fight going. It's like Daze is in glimmer. He's gonna be dying eventually.
That's cute.
They'll take him out.
Oh, Shiro was just short of getting that stun off onto PMA. Could have been a little bit worse for Na'Vi if the Avalanche did connect. But it's still a really tough spot. 1 minute without your Beastmaster lines instantly drawn onto that mid racks here for Vici Gaming. Already set to correct the creep wave down on mid. Still a little bit far out though to start to get through that back door. But they do have the creep wave bot as well, so should get some progress in. Mind you, not that much long left. Feels like once the creep waves are there, the respawns are up.
Shiro's about to show us a magic trick, I think, John. And nobody around to you know, volunteer, I suppose is the word I'm looking for, as he's going to go for the mid racks. Yeah, the defense, one last such attempt, I guess, from Na'Vi. Vici Gaming still pretty conservative in the way they want to play this, it seems. Not looking to do anything too crazy. They will just go ahead and back their way out of there. Roshan's still going to be dead for a while, it looks like. But nobody looking to play too risky. I mean, Vici's got a 15k advantage. I think they feel as though they are the stronger team as the game does go on, and I kind of agree with that sentiment. Na'Vi, they're the ones on the hunt for a way back into this game now. Oh!
What?
Look at... So Shiro went for the...
He got the bobble.
He got the bobble on Shiro.
I don't mind that, because look what he has.
Real?
He has the crude enchantment. Yeah, base attack time on Tiny, it's massive. No? Like, if it goes to tier 5 and he keeps it again and he gets another form of BAT reduction, I'd say that's preferable for Tiny if you don't need something like a Minotaur Horn. Right? So it's actually pretty alright. Not amazing. Kinda looks griefing, but Tiny with BAT probably makes the most sense here.
Is he telling us, though, that we're going to go late, John? Is that what he's saying? Because it really feels like they're in control of this game, right? Like, what's Dota Plus? Yeah. Dota Plus is saying 92% chance of win for Vici Gaming. I just want to put that out there, John. I just want to put that out there. 91. It was 92%, ladies and gentlemen. My eyesight is fine. It was, I promise.
Yeah, Mike's used to looking at these lines. He's been enjoying reading these lines in different formats, I'm sure, Mikey.
I've
been having
enjoyed
fun?
nothing recently, Jonathan. Nothing. You're talking about trading again, aren't you, Joe? Don't even get me
line go
started.
up, line go down.
Don't.
Line go left, line go right. Lines.
Feels like someone's drawing the lines these days, Jonathan. That's my problem. You know, the lines
it's
aren't
fun.
random anymore. Here we go.
That is a little bit surprising. I was just staring at Shiro, and when he uses... Oh, there it is. Look at the Silver Edge. The crab doesn't hide. Why?
Oh, the crab's not hiding.
It's not right.
That's not right at all.
Don't leave a crab behind.
No, the crab doesn't go in this.
Dire are scanning.
Now, naturally, I think the enemy can't see that, thankfully, John.
Yeah,
But the crab indeed
still-
does not get to be in this.
My immersion's taken away from me.
Yeah. Don't hide crabs. I think is what we learned here, Jonathan. Take that how
You're
you
learning a lot, Mikey.
jump in. Harpoon to the tree. Look at that, John. How broken was that?
I hate that.
PMA is going to be fine. Meanwhile, though, Niku, Lasso, it's going to connect the Sonic Wave. Niku, he's tanked everything,
the damage.
but he's still going to die. They'll get him eventually. Roar out. Niku buys back. They're trying to move in onto Shiro. Shiro with the BKB casually walking his way out of there, but he's out of BKB now, and they've got him controlled up. Shiro is down for 100 without buyback. Well, that's concerning, Shiro. That's a long time without buyback. Roshan's available, by the way.
And they blew everything there on VG, just jumping Niku. You saw how many things they threw out. They threw out the slam, they threw out lasso, they threw everything they could to try to find that kill. They're trying to position themselves to find this Roche. They're cut off a
They're
bit.
trying on to Y. Y is very tanky.
Oh, he's so tanky.
He's so tanky. Look at it.
Oh, little friends. Look at this.
Oh, what a... what a rude.
Isn't it great?
Oh. It actually is pretty cool, I'm not going to lie.
It's insane.
I'm an edge player. I'll enjoy myself. Oh, that's a nice lasso. Buck's got a double lasso. They still find Aurora though on XM. XM, he's the one in danger. Nobody has one down, but XM with the Bloodstone actually healing up. Even with the silence, he's just standing his ground. He doesn't care. Still, they are losing bodies
Why?
left, right, and center here. Vici
Still
Gaming
alive?
trying to find Wine up with the Sonic Wave out from XM. Finding a double. He's got a third. Days trying to get away, but they have detection. Vici Gaming, no issues. Roshan is available. Navi, 3 down without buyback.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's the big opening for VG, and they timed that perfectly as well. Respawn's coming up on Shiro. He can just stroll in, get the Aegis if he wants, although the coverage for XM is probably a lot more important here. And for Navi, they overstayed their welcome, trying to make that move onto this Ench. I mean, it's just asking for trouble, and this is an Ench just with Pipe of Insight for durability. It is just way too much after you blow all of your burst damage out in that initial onslaught. And again, the little friends just stalled them out as well. You're not able to get the right clicks off. You're not able to play around there for Niku. It's these fights post-BKB for both sides that are causing issues. You have to be so careful after that initial jump in, and you have to think about how you go in and out. Days?
Days. They know he's around somewhere. They'll hunt him down, and eventually they are going to find him. Nice and easy for XM. Man, you got 5,000 HP almost on this Tiny. Like, what are you meant to do about him? What are you meant to do? Look at this.
Throw everything you can to kill him? That's what they've been doing on NAVI. At least the respawns are coming in. But it's gonna be Megas. It's gonna be a last stand here. NAVI have to make this work out somehow.
The time to make it work out was probably about 30 minutes ago, John. I want to say for Navi. 1 tier 4 down. Oh, Soulbind is out. They are going to try one last time to jump in. XM almost dying, but not really quite. Raw committed. XM, though, still alive. They can't kill him. He's going to make it out. They got the juice down. They're out of gas here on the side of NAVI. Still trying for the quap. XM finally losing his Aegis, but the GG is called. NAVI, I mean, it was a decent idea with the draft, but I don't know. It's like they never really even try to get started, you know?
No. No, and again, this is one of the issues I have when I see